people. Today is the first day of the Blake's Spring Festival proper. I've drawn peg 7 on Canal. Not the best peg, to be honest. £60 come off it yesterday, so we'll see. Don't know much about it. We've got a bit of cover across. Plan is the standard start short on meat because that seems to be what's working. Set an over-shorted rig up. I don't know whether we're going to be using it. I'm going to film away a little bit. I've set a line up for 3 foot as well across. Same rig I can use left and right. Not gone mad with rigs today. Keeping it nice and simple. A couple of throwaway rigs here. Just as backups. Couple of shallows, but my main rigs are going to be these here. So they're what I plan to fish. Start on this one, he says. So we'll see. Yeah, we'll see what happens. We'll see what doth happen. So yeah, we've got a 3 foot, sorry, blabbering, 3 foot to my left, 5 sections, and then again to my left, shorter than that, and then across, and then left and right the same, 2 edges. We'll start on meat, same as probably everybody else in the whole complex, and we'll go from there. I'm saying that I better get some meat out. I'm leaving it a little bit to the last minute, to be honest. I've got some micros and expanders, bit of corn in case, got maggots, loads of maggots, more maggots than I need, to be completely honest. But we'll see what happens. I don't know if maggots are going to work or not. I shall throw them short after a while if I don't catch on meat. That's it for the minute. I'm going to sign off now. I'm only going to film until I run out of oomph. So I won't be getting on and off the box. So I'm pausing it for now and I'll come back when we kick off. Well, wind's got up. That might be good. I might catch a few shallow. Might. Changed a bit now. Now this wind's got up a little bit. We'll see. Just smashed up my thing behind. Not feed anywhere else just yet. Try and keep it tight today because I feel like yesterday. I messed it up a little bit. I just don't believe what I just did. Just managed to drop a bit of mink away from where I was fishing. Double check my depth here. I think feels like it's moved a bit because this wind. I won't do it just yet because I had to bite straight away, so can't be that wrong. Maybe we started across. I did think about that, but just from what I can gather with these matches, little stocky things. I've seen you whacking that camera before long. You fucker. I thought it's found it, but it's not. Just went under his fin. So, try and talk a little bit windy. I hope you can hear me. Odd bites on the meat. not going crazy. Only fishing a minute and I hope to get a bigger stamp. I'm just keeping an eye on my way to my right is fishing long across. He's catching a few. I can't see what size the fish are. The lad to my left's catching quite well, short on meat. Doesn't seem to be going doolally, if I'm honest. Suddenly gone very quiet on the meat front. And this is just a little tiny stocky, which is not really what we want. Interesting, they're not getting it properly at the moment. Another fish to my right, fishing long across. Trying to see the size of the fish. I don't think they're any bigger than what I'm catching, if I'm honest. My fault. Not paying attention. Well, that's the end of the first day. God knows. Don't know what I've got. Not enough. The young lad next to me, Alex Major, fished an absolute blinding match. Really has. Fished an excellent match, and he'll win his section. But done well, done really well. Fished it. He did me in a bit because basically he started catching shallow, and I was catching on meat like an idiot. I came off my sorry about the noise. Came off my meat line, and I shouldn't have done it. Trying to catch shallow. Well, we haven't weighed in yet. Still packing up. Sun's out, so I'm not rushing. I've got enough maggots for 10 matches left. We'll see what happens. It's a split section, so the young lad that was next to me isn't in my section. I'm going to be the first to weigh in our section by the looks of it. I have no idea what they've caught across there. I don't think I've done any good. I think I'll be out of it, put it that way. I think he's beating me to my right. No idea what they've caught. On the other side, no idea at all. Don't know. Well, we managed second in our section, which is good. I thought I was coming nowhere, so I'm kicking myself a bit because young Alex Major next to me started catching shallow, so I went with it and followed, and I shouldn't have done it. He had a little bit more of a ripple where he was. I caught a couple on it quick and then it went. He had a little steady run on it. He's had £119. He's done really well. Fished a brilliant match, to be honest. I should have stuck it out on meat. I think I could have beat the £70 that won the section. There we go. Onwards and upwards. At least second's not a disaster. Actually pick up a money for that, I think. Anyway, I'll see you, speak to you soon. Bye for now. Day of the Blake's Spring Festival that we sponsor, so all good fun. Had a little interview earlier on about it, so that's good. Yeah, all good. We'll see what happens. Peg 40, not the best peg in the world, but might catch a few. Did all right yesterday, so we'll see what happens. Just finished doing a quick live. We've got 4 minutes till the off. Keep thinking, oh, take this hoodie off, and then the wind blows and it's cold, so it's staying on for the moment. Wind started blowing in here, which might be good, but we'll see. Just hope I can catch a few fish short, basically, today, because that's what I think I need to do. I always get people trying to flog your life insurance or something when you're fishing. Anyway, we'll see what happens. Like I said, it's usual story. Got all the rigs behind me. They're the ones I doubt I'll be using. I'm going to keep them out the way. And then we should have, that should be down the middle. Meat bulk again for the 5 which I did right on. Anyway, that's the all in. And we'll see what happens. Everybody's doing the same thing. Starting short. Think about the camera, so watch out for that. Nice 2 fish on the meat, straight in front, feeding no more than 3 or 4 cubes of meat. That was actually 4.5 bits, that was. I don't want these ones, I want the big fat ones like he's catching next door. Meeting just short. Very shallow peg, that's the trouble. They could come up today. As when you're fishing meat, everything gets covered in grease. That'll come off. Scatty stocky, I think. Interesting. He definitely wanted it, let's put it that way. I mean, when he's caught the fish next door, they've all been big. He's had a carp about 7 pound. There's the one you want. Little bit, keep the fish coming. Lost my way with my clicker now, so I'll have to start again. And trying a little strong rig with very slow fall just to see if anything snatches at it. Might have to lengthen the line a little bit. Shorten the line, I should say. A bit too long with this wind, but I'm right over the top of it, so we should be right. Let's really set this up so I can flick it around a bit, very light fall. Little 0.1 strung with 10s. Might have to have a little go across. No point in just sitting here. You know, when it goes a bit funny like this, sometimes you need to just try and put fish in the net from somewhere. don't want to go down the edges just yet. I think the best line would be short later, you know. About 5 inches off bottom now on this line. Hmm. Oh, I'm missing a rig. I'm packing up. I didn't bother doing the. I didn't bother putting the camera back on after the battery went first time, and left it over me peg today for sure. But there we go. That's what we do. Yeah. Enjoyed it. Caught maggots tomorrow over here, about 11 metres. So there's fish maggots all day around me peg rather than fishing meat. Meat wasn't right today. I'd have caught anything in the edges, but I didn't fish them properly as usual. I'm going to eat my sandwich while I chat to you. It looks brilliant for down the edge. I've not fished edges properly. Not really fished edges that side properly. Caught maggots in the open water here. Meat short. That's all I've done really. I should have concentrated across a bit more and I didn't. Definitely there's some fish in the peg today, that's for sure. But there we go. It's been an enjoyable day. To be honest, I was quite enjoying catapulting maggots. First time I've done it all week, so quite enjoyed just pinging bait for once, which I've not done all week. Because it's not been that sort of week, so it was nice to be able to ping some bait, so that's what I did. Because I had some open water to fish at. That's what I've done. Worked for a while. I've not got a lot, maybe £40. Anyway, I'll sign off for now and I'll come back when I'm looking. It's the end of 4 days of fishing. They're all still weighing in. I had 44.12. I beat the guy to my left. Got beat to the peg over here. He's had £60. The other end had 64. Paul Allen does 77. So well and truly out of it now. But enjoyed it. As I say, because I had the open water, I just kept feeding maggots on that line. I caught quite well for a little while and then it died on me. I sort of feel like I caught a few on meat. I didn't fish the peg properly. I should have gone across. I didn't. But I don't know why I didn't. I just didn't. As I say, I was catching a few on that line. I thought as I'm getting bites, I'll stay with it. And I was hoping to catch on. I switched the short line to maggots and I kept throwing maggots short, hoping as I was catching there on maggot, I thought I might catch a few here on maggots. I never had a bite. I think once that short line had gone today, it had gone. Didn't matter what you fed, what you tried. I had one more fish on it and that was it. Caught hardly anything in the edges. So many reeds there and stuff. You hook them and they're straight in there anyway. But yeah, another lesson learned. I think should have gone across for. If I had an hour across, I think that might have given me. Might have caught another £20 across, which would have made a big difference. Anyway, I'm going to sign off for now, put the gear away, and I'll catch you all when I'm in the shed. Bye for now. Hello, just a quick shed catch up. Back from the Tunnel Barn Farm Spring Spectacular, sponsored by our very own Blake's Baits and Shimano, who did a fantastic sponsorship with giving away 3 poles in the end. I think it was first, second and third, and landing net handle and landing net for the best weight of the week, which was £210. Interesting, really interesting 3 days. So, well, is that actually 4 days? 4 days fish to practice match. I drew peg 1 on Top Lake. Fish terrible, to be honest. I did get told that it hadn't been brilliant that end of the lake. The wind's not been blowing up that end, and I struggled that day. £37, I think. Alfie was on peg 3, had £64, I think. Craig Meadows won a little bowl with £100 of top 5, which is got a good peg at the moment. But it was a practice, and I played around with a few things. Just couldn't really find any fish, if I'm honest. But it was apparent that meat was definitely going to be the bait. It was interesting because last year the festival was a week later, so a week earlier than last year. And last year I remember that we all caught on meat on the run up to the festival. Come the festival, it didn't really work as well, and maggots was a lot better. So I had that in my mind, but so everybody's done the same thing. I think ordered loads of maggots and casters. Bottom line was, this festival you could have probably got away with just having 5 tins of meat for the 3 days. I think if you fed a tin of meat chopped, you probably fed too much. So first day I drew peg 7 on canal. I don't think I've drawn canal before. Anyway, I had young Alex Major to my left, who wasn't in my section, but I didn't realise that to start with, which messed me up a little bit, but that's another story. Connor Barlow was on peg 11, which was 2 to my right, so 7 was in, 9 was in, then 11. And started off steady away, really, catching a few fish on meat shorts and decent F1s, doing okay. Alfie was doing better, to be fair. Not Alfie, sorry. Alex was doing better on peg 3. And just concentrated throughout the match, just trying to put fish in the net. But then Alex went and started feeding a shallow line. And he started catching a few. Well, that threw me a bit, because I then thought, well, I've got to give that a go. So it must be in a fly. She didn't like flies, my dog. She's come in the shed with me. So Alex started catching a few shallow. So I've followed suit and started feeding. Caught a couple quick, but it just wasn't right, and it messed me up. I should have stayed on the meat, because it messed up my meat line a little bit. I don't know why it just did. I think it's because you come off it, you're not feeding it as the way you were before. And it just changed after that. So should have ignored Alex because he wasn't in my section. Looking around, I thought, I'm doing all right here. And caught a few of my edges, but pushing meat short was definitely the way to go, definitely better. And I should have clocked that a bit more in my head for the next day, but that's another story. So we'll get to that in a minute. Anyway, cut a long story short, on day 1, I ended up second in the section. I had £67, I think it was. And Conor Barlow had 70 something on 11 and won the section. Now I definitely know I could have caught that. He's not caught much till later on, Connor. And I think I definitely could have beaten him if I'd have just stayed doing what I was doing, fishing the meat line. So that was that. So first day, 2 points, not a disaster. Really, in these big matches, you can't afford to get anything above a 2 when 5 points is in the top 10. So that was that. Second day, I had gone and drawn bloody peg 3 on top, which was 2 away from where I was on the practice day. Wasn't over the moon about it. Thought, right, okay, knowing what I knew, what happened on the practice match, I fished a similar match to how Alfie fished, which was left edges. He caught most of his fish long to his left edge to the next platform. Unfortunately for me, that's not worked. I've not caught one fish there, and I think it's because peg 5 also fed the other side of that platform. I think it was too much. It was no good. I didn't want to come to there. He didn't catch anything there when he fed it. So that line was a waste of time. Again, I've caught on meat short. Now, messed it up a little bit again, because I caught a few and I kept trickling a little bit of meat into my right. Same line, but same depth, but to my right, a little bit shallower. Anyway, I kept nicking the odd one. Wasn't going mad, but then nobody else was. But then Jason Crump, I saw him start catching a few. And also peg 1 started catching a few short on meat. And I thought, well, they're definitely both catching me up. Jason Crump was definitely beating me, probably most of the match. Then peg 33, I think it is, which would have been opposite 3, more or less. He was catching quite well. Same old thing with Tunnel, though. You see people catching and you panic. Now, come the weigh-in, well, before we get to the weigh-in, I had a little run short on my right. Suddenly they turned up and it was solid and I couldn't get in quick enough. But a £10 carp, I thought I nearly netted it once. The blinking things literally just missed the net. Bad scooping, trying to scoop it. It was still fighting hard. I just needed to try and get it in quick because it was getting late towards the end of the match. Anyway, it then swam under the platform and broke me, so I had to quickly put another hook on. Gone out, clunk, had another one, clunk, another one. Whistle's gone. And I've ended up with £44, I think it was. Now, it was close. Jason had 60 odd. So that carp definitely cost me second place. I think there was, sorry, that's a lie. I think I needed to get over £60 to get 2 points, which I think I could have done had I have fished closer to myself, and I'll talk about that in a minute. So I ended up with 3 points. So that's given me 5 points going into the last day. Realistically, 5 points, you're not going to frame with that. Bearing in mind there's quite a few people on 3 section wins and a second and a first section win. So there's quite a few people on 2 points, a couple on 2 points, a few on 3 points and 4 points. So going with 5 points the last day really is no good, because even if I won the section on the last day, 6 points would have been out of the top 10. So final day, I have drawn peg 40 on you. Not a brilliant peg. Again though, definitely could have won that section, but I went a bit gung-ho. Started on meat short, caught a few quick. That went on me, same as it did seem to do for most people. I had a bit of open water to my right, so I pinged maggots there, and I caught had a really good run, but I overfed it. Trying to push it really, because I had nothing to lose. Needed to get a decent weight to try and pick some money up, at least win the section. So I went for it a bit. Went for it too much. Possibly could have won that section had I have fished a bit more of a sensible match. But it was the last day, and I thought if I can get a decent weight, if you can frame, you pick up a decent bit of cash, to be honest. Probably wasn't the peg I was ever going to do that from, but you got to give it a go. So I did. I gave it a go. Fed quite heavy. So I had a little run on it. The edges didn't really work for me. That was it. Ended up with 5 points. Ended up 53rd or something in the festival. But what I was going to talk about is how much of a fine line it is. It really is. I look back at the first day, a little bit of tweaking, definitely could have got a point. Definitely could have got a point. And I think the second day I definitely could have got 1 point as well. If I'd have just planned my match a bit better, thought about it a bit more, listened to other anglers more. That's a key. Listen to what other anglers are telling you, because people were sort of coming back saying, oh yeah, top kit. Just got to fish a top kit left and right, and you look at your peg and you think, I can't see how that's going to work. It's quite clear still on where I was. Might not have worked on the pegs I had, to be fair. I think it would have done on the last day. If I'd just sat there quietly. What you got to do is, what I've learned is, you fish in a top kit and literally short kit, which is this. But you need to be fishing it literally on your left reel and on your right, really close to yourself. Even if it's this sort of depth. What's that there? That's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. Literally about 18 inches. Now, Leon Seabright, who won the festival, all he's done for 3 days is fished here and here. But it's not that simple. You've got to feed really accurately. When I say accurately, you need to throw literally 1 or 2 bits of meat on your float, and you feed any more of that, you overfeed it. It's ridiculous. And that's the key. It's just learning and knowing how to fish that meat. It's not a case of just fishing meat, chopping meat up and tapping a bit in. Yeah, that'll do. You've got to get the depth dead right. You've got to get the feed absolutely 100% accurate. It makes so much difference. A bit like when you're feeding maggots shallow, you've got to get it on your float really, whereas you've got fish scattered everywhere. and that's something I need to practice at. So the guy that on the day that the last day had 210 pound, apparently he caught on meat short, and he ended up catching shallow. So I think he fed a bit more because there were so many fish there, and they were intercepting the bait and coming up because there was that many fish there. 210 pound on a short kit, that's, yeah. And then you get some big F1s. It sounds, people say, oh, it's hook a duck. It's not. There's no way is it hook a duck. It's so much more than that. It's very complicated fishing. It's a bit like having a game of chess almost. You've really got to think about what you're doing. And that's really what I wanted to sort of touch on. It's I get a bit annoyed when I hear people saying, oh, blooming hook a duck, it's too easy, commercial stuff for the fish, crawling up your rod line, anybody can do it. Trust me. I'll ask anybody that thinks it's that easy, come and fish it and do it yourself, try it. It is not like that. There's an art to it. And you're getting your shotting right, getting the depth absolutely spot on. If you don't get the depth right, you failed hook fish. You've got to get it so right. And it really takes some practice. So Lee, who won it, congratulations to him, brilliant performance. He's a local there, fishes it all the time. Did it dead right for 3 days. I think he averaged 140 pound every day. Won his section, brilliant. I think it might have been the only one to win his section and get 3 points. I can't remember, I'll have to double check the results. I mean, just to sum it up, I think Paul Holland ended up 11th, won out the money. I think he had a second. He was 5 points, I think. That's how hard it is. You know, top quality anglers like Paul just coming one out of the money and on 5 points, still quite good. Jimmy Brooks fished brilliantly. He's ended up 7th, I think. He's done brilliantly on the first day, I believe, on a not very good peg, fishing an overshotted rig, fishing at 16 metres, and he's had a good weight and done brilliantly. Christian again had a bad match. I think it might have been the first one, but still clawed it back a little bit. Still got good weight on the last day. Peg one on new, 140 odd pound, I think. You know, so it's the good thing about these festivals. That even if you're out of it, you still got something to fish for. There's plenty to fish for. Biggest weight of the day, decent payout if you win your match on the day. But I just wanted to touch on how you really have to think about what you're doing. And I know now, looking back, if on the first day I think ignored Alex, carried on doing what I was doing with the meat, and rather than trying to do something else going across, just coming really close to yourself and just literally 2 bits of meat. That's something I'm definitely going to practice at. It will change. You know, the weather will change and it will switch to maggots or casters, or it will change, definitely will change. But at the moment, you could go there with meat and you could catch a lot of fish fishing like that. Obviously not every peg is going to be like that, but a lot of the pegs, definitely a lot of the pegs. I mean, I think Mr. Seabright proved that. Then he drew brilliantly on the last day, won his section. Had some Mikey Williams, I think, on the next peg. Some good anglers in his section. He's done really, really well. Also, just to add, I just want to say what an absolutely fantastically amazing job Sarah, Annette, all the crew at Tunnel Barn did for the 3 days. It's, you know, 122 anglers, I think it was. So well organised, really, really well done. Weighing in seamless, and the results are out really, really quickly. They do a brilliant job. Really, really can't fault Tunnel, the way they do their weighing in and how they run everything. Absolutely top notch. And Tom Scully, again, brilliant coverage. Well done, Tom. That was brilliant. So that was it, really. That's what I wanted to touch on. Just really have to think about these festivals. I'm really looking forward to doing next year. I'm doing the over 60s in August. That'll be different again. Going to give that a go. Got another over 50s Masters coming up there, April the 24th. I'll try and get back up there again before that. Then I have got the Pole Masters at Harescombe Fishery, which I've not been to for a while. I need to get down there as well. A few things coming up. But, you know, it's difficult when you're working still. Even at the right by age of 63, I'm still working away. It's difficult to compete against some of these lads. So even that young Alex, I tell you, watch out for that name, Alex Major Angling. I tell you, keep an eye on him. Awesome little angler. He fished an absolute brilliant match on the first day. He really did. £119, I think he had. Superb. Really, I watched him. Spent too much time watching him, to be honest, and not doing what I was doing. But his feeding, his accuracy on his feeding his meat was perfect. On his float, could see him. Had everything shot it perfectly. Little tiny, wasn't doing the silly strikes. Little tiny lifts and one on, and fished a brilliant match. Really, really well done. It was really nice to see young angler doing so well. And he really did. He's going to upset a few big names, I can tell you. So anyway, that's that really. I'll stop harping on. Just wanted to do a little update. Can't tell anything other than, you know, rig wise, for me, as you know, I was using Ian Everett floats. It seemed to me that people were fishing 3B8s very close in, little 3B8, lots of different. That's the other thing I was going to say. That, you know, it's not a case of having one rig. It's you might have one at 12 inches, 14 inches, 16 inches, 18 inches, all on a top kit, but that's how much the depth changes around where you are. You just need to make sure you're fishing in the right depth of water. You won't foul hook fish. You still foul hook the other one, but you've got to minimise all that sort of stuff. It's making every bite count, basically. So there we go. Really enjoyed it though. 3 fantastic days with absolute result with the weather. So it was really good. Really enjoyed it. Looking forward to next year already. Right, I'll stop blabbering. Just going to sign off. Dog's going to pester me for going out for another walk soon. Thanks for watching if you're watching, and I'll try and put some more content up. It's I need to get a bit lazy sometimes. It's when I'm doing this at work. It's a bit of a struggle sometimes coming home and start editing things. That's why I keep it quite basic. Chop it up quite quickly, just to try and give you a rough idea of what's going on. I did film 2 of the days only for the first hour. It's very difficult to get off your box and start changing batteries and things like that when you're in these festivals. Plus, when you're fishing so close, it does upset your lines. So I will keep trying to put more up. I'm going to try and do some pleasure days when I'm just going out, not fishing a match, and just go talk through everything that I'm doing and stuff like that. If anybody's interested, may hopefully get some more floats made up as well. So anyway, that's that. I'll stop blabbering now. I'll sign off and I'll speak to you all on the next one. Bye for now. Thanks for watching.